Everybody, today we are trying to trace an electrical issue, and in the process of pulling the intake manifold off to get to the electrical wires for it's underneath the intake manifold, we're going to go ahead and replace the intake manifold gaskets just in case they're bad and they're leaking. And I'm going to try to clean the valley a little better, because I know a long time ago I did a starter and I did replace those gaskets, but I didn't clean the valley very well because I didn't have a vacuum at the time. Now I got a vacuum, so we're going to try to clean it a little better. So in the process, we're gonna get started pulling everything apart. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, upper plenum's off. Fought me a little bit. I got new gaskets coming for it, so hopefully we'll know those are good. I'm gonna have to pull apart that little harness right there in the center. I want to make sure there's no bare wires touching anything or stuck together, and we'll put it back together and then we'll go from there. All right, everybody, as you can see, put tape over the holes to keep trash from getting down in there, because I'm tearing apart really old wires. And there's the harness. Yes, the plastic piece that all that wiring goes into. It's down here on the ground all over the place because it's old, brittle. I couldn't get it to come apart in one piece, and it just wanted to break on me. So I'm gonna get some aftermarket loom, try to cover up those wires so that they're safe. Unplug the injectors on this side. Now we're going to that side, get the wires out of the way, and then we're probably going to pull the intake manifold. Well, no, probably we are pulling the intake manifold, because I'm going to replace the intake gaskets just so I can be able to say that there's no vacuum leaks on the intake manifold. All my injector seals and everything, in case you're wondering, is brand new. Well, not brand new, but they've been replaced a year ago, so they're still new. So hopefully I shouldn't have to undo any of that. Probably what I'm going to try to do here, I'm going to disconnect the lines that goes to the return line and feed line. I'm going to disconnect from the fuel rail so I can keep all that on the intake manifold, just to make it a little easier for myself. And we'll go from there. We're back. Lower plenum's off, upper plenum's off. I think we might have found something, because I was like, what the heck. I've done a starter on this car back when I first got this thing. Probably the first year owning this car, I had to do a starter, and I pulled the intakes and all that stuff off, and and I was trying to do them. And when I put everything back together, I know I tightened those lower intake plenum bolts, but the whole passenger side, and I did crisscross, I know I do, because I always do it on intake, but I never actually put a torque wrench on them, which I think I might need to this time. All the bolts were loose. 2 of them were hand tight. The other 3, maybe a tad bit tighter than hand tight, they were loose. That could have been my running lean problem, because it was getting air from there. I just got done cleaning all the trash out from under the intake manifold and along the intake runners on the heads. So I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. And there you go. I put tape over them to keep the trash out until I get the new intake gaskets. They should be here around 5 o'clock today, and right now it's around 2:30, 3 o'clock. But as you can see, let's see if I can get my light on. There we go. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a lot cleaner than what it was. Got most of that crap out of there. So now we're just waiting on parts. Once the parts get here, we'll start putting it back together. And I'm going to double check a lot of the wires too, since I'm already here. The first set of wires that goes over the intake manifold, the lower plenum, there's no damage. Didn't find nothing. I recovered them up with some grommet that goes over top of the wires to keep them safe. It's not going to be OE stuff, but it's better than nothing. And as far as I can see, there's really nothing else wrong with this car. But I'll go through it and see, and I'll get back with y'all when we find something. So yeah. All right, everybody, we got our new gaskets. I'm about to put them in, take off that tape. I had to replace one injector seal because we had one leaking. That was a pain in my butt because most of the stores here didn't have what I was looking for. Luckily, I had extra injectors. But I think we're about to get ready to put that back inside. And here is our new gaskets. So let's go ahead and get this thing back together. Alright, if you notice, I went over those bolts and nuts probably about 4 or 5 times. I don't have a torque wrench, and I want to make sure they're tight, but I don't want them over tightened where they break in the head. So I just kept on snugging them with the handle long on my ratchet, so that way it gives me a little more torque than what a regular ratchet would. So I'm just snugging them, went back over them about 5 times, and every time. And I just kept on doing it until when I went to start over in the center again, it was tight. Went on the next one, it was tight. Went on the next one, it was tight. Went on the next one, it was tight. So I just kept on going until they felt tight, to where I didn't have to really ram on them, but they're tight. They're good. Hopefully they won't back off again this time, because I wanted to make sure they're tight. I know I should put some thread lock on them, but I don't have them. So I know I'm doing backyard mechanic bullcrap, but I'm not really a backyard mechanic, but when you work with what you have, and I don't have no thread lock, so we're gonna deal with it. So now, next thing is the putting the wiring harnesses back together, and we're gonna cover up that one back there that goes across the intake manifold. We're gonna fix that one. I got the stuff in the trunk for that, and then we're gonna rehook the injector lines and everything, get them fixed. Yes, that sucks. That broke on me taking it off. I got a new one coming. It's gonna be here in the morning with a new rotor, so I was like, shoot, if I'm gonna change the cap, might as well change the rotor. And yes, it sucks because it's a rain in here in Louisiana. Bullcrap. Can't seem to have a nice dry day to be able to do anything I need. So luckily where I live, I have an awning, so I can do this and stay dry. So now we're gonna get everything together there, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I'm not gonna do a little time lapse on this one, so I'll show y'all when I get it together before I put the upper plenum on, and so you can see what I did. All right, well, go figure. It's pouring its behind off outside. Yeah, and where I'm working, water's just running off the back. It's not staying too. I'm gonna keep on going until the wind starts picking up and it starts getting me wet underneath the carport. But as of right now, I got all the wires hooked up pretty much. All that's next is the upper plenum, and well, not all the wires. Turn that light on. Oh, my battery's about to die. Yeah, I gotta put the spark plug wires on now. Then we can go put the upper plenum on, but I think we might have to do the upper plenum before we do plug wires because of a coolant line over there. So we're gonna get started on that and try to get it done. Well, we got the upper plenum back on. Sorry if the quality of my video is not as good as it was when it started, with the battery getting low on the phone. But upper plenum's on. Got all the little stuff hooked up. I still got more little stuff I got to hook up like right now. Yeah, the brightness is not that great, but let me try something. There we go. Upper plenum's on. Now I gotta do plug wires, hook up the vacuum lines, get the covers back on. I looked at this. That can wait. I can get the car started today. That all it was the plastic piece broke off, but the connector where the metal touches for electricity is still there. So we're gonna try to start the car without changing that. But yep, we're back together, almost. Alright everybody, we're back. Excuse the bird noises because all the birds underneath this awning's going stupid. Got the car back together, it's running good. I ended up having to pull the driver's side fuel rail off because we had an injector that decided it wanted to leak out of nowhere. So we got that fuel injector seal changed, and we got it all back together, and it's idling normal again. I got it started last night and it was idling about 1500 RPM, and I don't know why. So when I pulled this rail off, started noticing the injector seals that connects it to the intake manifold, and I adjusted them to where they're in their original location and replaced the leaking one. But started it up not too long ago, and it idled normal at 800, 900 RPM and wide cold. And now all I got left to do is finish putting the plastic on, put some coolant in it, and we're done. I got it done quicker than I thought I was going to get it done. So I was going to take my time and do it in 2 days, but ended up getting it done last night and then tearing it back apart and then working on it a little bit this morning. So this is where we're at right now. It's, like I said, pretty much back together. I just got to put those plastic pieces back where they belong. Yes, I took those wires out of there. No more rat's nests there. And we'll give it a nice little cold start here in a minute. Oh, it's running. I forgot about the cold start. I'm working on time limiter right now and trying to do this video at the same time, finishing it up. But you can hear it running. purring like a kitten. So what I found, most likely what the issue was, the lower plenum intake gasket. Passenger side, most of the bolts were loose, so I replaced all the gaskets on the intake manifold, lower plenum, upper plenum, some of the injector seals because I noticed one was leaking, and then I had to pull it back apart, the injectors, the fuel rail on the driver's side, because one of them on the driver's side decided to leak too. So, but no leaks now, we're good to go. All the bolts, the intake manifold's tight. I hope you got something out of this, because there was a lot of work for me, and I worked late last night. I got it running, it was idling high, noticed the injector leaking. I was like, cutting it tonight, start on it in the morning, which I did. Fixed what I needed to fix, started it up, and the idling high issue, I'm pretty sure was the injector seals that seals the injector to the fuel rail, or to the intake manifold. So we will, it's running great now, just idled down some more, so smooth. It's not running rough like it was before. But hey, I hope you got something out of this. You know what to look for now, learn from my mistakes, and etc, etc, etc. But hey, if you like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and I'll try to do a little more how-to videos like this so you know what to do. And I'll catch y'all guys next time.